UFO sightings, dinosaurs, penguins, devils, criminals, dictators, a place with more cows than people, crazy temperature differences, and a city at the end of the world. Well, that's Argentina. The country is made up of 23 provinces in the autonomous city of Buenos Aires. In this video, I'm going to talk about the stereotypes and facts about each province. So let's just get into it. This is Caba, or the autonomous city of Buenos Aires, and this is the province of Buenos Aires. Its name translates to something like good air or fair winds. Correct me if I'm wrong though, it's the largest and most populous province, and it's as big as an average European country. It's dominated by Conurbano, the suburbs surrounding Caba, which are often stereotyped by porteños and other Argentines as chaotic, dysfunctional, and uncultured industrial wasteland that is the center of Peronist movement. It's also a stereotype as a place filled with theft and robberies, villas, and dense suburbs that are filled with stressed out people who don't know what's going on in other provinces and love listening to folk music and cumbia at full blast. And the rural and small town parts of the province are mostly focused on farming, cattle ranching, and gaucho culture. And they often see themselves as the overlooked but hardworking backbone of Buenos Aires province. Of course, this province is so big and diverse that it would take a long video to explain all of its cities, but here are a couple of them. La Plata, the city of diagonals, and the capital city of Buenos Aires province. It's beautiful with a good amount of nature and gets tourists every summer. I mean, look at it. Doesn't it look impressive? How about now? The inner city gets more beautiful every year, while the outer gets worse with more and more slums. It truly is a city of contrasts. Some drivers there drive like they're schizophrenic, but at least the streets are numbered and nice. There's even a university, so the city is filled with bars and drunk students. Mar del Plata is a beautiful beach resort city with leafy neighborhoods and lots of beautiful beaches, which attracts a lot of tourists. Quilmes is an industrial and working class city that's known for its beer. Bahia Blanca is a vibrant, green university city that has a big port. San Nicolás de los Arroyos is an industrial city that's known for the sanctuary of Mario del Rosario de San Nicolás. Tandil sits in the Tandilia Sierras. The city has awesome sceneries and they produce some great cheese and salami. And finally, San Miguel is full of ghosts. Dear locals, if you know any stereotypes about your cities, please share them in the comment section. Caba, an autonomous city separate from Buenos Aires province with its own government and constitution. They're stereotyped as arrogant urbanites known as porteños who see themselves as the Paris of South America. The word porteño comes from the city's port. It's a beautiful, massive city. It's densely populated and has a cultural range from skyscraper districts to old European-looking trendy neighborhoods to occasional slums and everything in between. The city has a strong cultural and intellectual undercurrent, a big cafe culture, the Teatro Colón, nightclubs, lots and lots of bookstores, and some delicious food from all over the world. They're stereotyped as wannabe European rich snobs who love to debate, are passionate and intense about their devotion to football, eat empanadas out of a jar, and don't give a damn about what happens beyond the General Paz highway. There are also some other stereotypes such as them being femboys or thieves and such, but I'd say that the most well-known stereotype about them is that they're arrogant, cocky people who think they're better than everyone else. I'm not gonna lie, there is hate towards Buenos Aires across the country, which I think is the case with the most capital cities across the world, because they're the center of everything in the country. You turn on the news and everyone's talking about what's happening in Caba. There's even a saying that goes, God is everywhere, but his offices are in Buenos Aires. Of course, these are just stereotypes and don't define the characteristics of the whole population. But let me know in the comment section what you think of porteños. Catamarca is stereotyped as a quiet, humble, and a spiritually minded place with diverse, otherworldly mountainous landscapes. They've got the highest volcanoes in America, extreme salt flats, valleys, hot springs, precious metals, and lithium mines. They're also known for Fiesta del Poncho, which celebrates traditional crafts. San Fernando, the capital city, is sunny, quiet, dry, and hot with a slow pace of life, and they're known for this beautiful cathedral. Andalgalá has a mining history and is especially known for copper and rhodochrosite. And Tinogasta is an arid city with dramatic mountain and desert scenery. Chaco is a poor province that alternates between severe flooding and drought. It also has significant indigenous population including the Com and Wichi, as well as communities of Eastern European descent. They're stereotyped as poor people who live in the Stone Age. The province is lush and is called impenetrable for a reason. Sadly though, it's being destroyed by farming communities. Chaco also has jaguars, which again sadly are endangered in this province. It's a hot province accompanied by hot winds. There's a village in Chaco called Pampa del Infierno. That place registers really high temperatures, but the locals can deal with it perfectly. And at least all that heat makes drinking tereré more enjoyable. And they have the second largest meteorite in the world, Resistencia. If you go there in January during siesta time, your blood will evaporate and you'll melt. They deal with unbearable heat all year round, and also power outages, road closures, stifling humidity, insecurity, and corruption. The Residencia Roque Sáenz Peña is known for its cotton production and thermal waters. Chubut. The province is named after the Chubut River. They're known for the Welsh colonies, Welsh tea houses, and Eisteddfod festivals. The province is windy all the time, it's mostly empty, and in the words of Patricia Bullrich, no one lives there. There's just a million guanacos and nothing more. And since it's an oil zone, the salaries are high compared to the rest of the country. In the east, it's windy and mostly deserts and farmlands. But if you go towards the Andes Mountains, you'll see deep forests, glaciers, and streams. And in this province, you have to do long travels between the cities. They have many whales, wolves, guanacos, and dinosaurs, both living and fossilized. In fact, there's a high chance that Chubutenses who are watching this video have their pet penguin and dinosaur right beside them. Comodoro Rivadavia was founded by Welsh and Boer immigrants in the early 1900s, and it developed fast due to the discovery of oil in the following decades. The city is not that attractive. Yeah, it ain't no tourist city, but rather a blue-collar work city. Trelew is a quiet and pretty city that was founded by the Welsh and has this awesome museum. Puerto Madryn gets lots of tourists, has nice beaches and warm weather during the summer, and you can go there to see whales, penguins, and sea lions. And the provincial capital, Rossen, is near the Atlantic with a strong Welsh heritage. Cordoba. They're stereotyped as funny, party people who are super friendly, have positive energy, and are fun to be around. Basically Argentinian golden retrievers. They're known across the country for their sing-songy accent, and the stereotypical person from Cordoba is a die-hard fan of one of these teams, has Fernet and Coke running through their veins, eats lots of alfajores, always dances cuarteto, and listens to Rodrigo Bueno and La Mona Jimenez. Yeah, they invented a popular genre of music called cuarteto and are known for the country's favorite party drink, a better digestive called Fernet and Coke. They also experience some of the biggest thunderstorms in the country, and the province has some beautiful nature and countryside, with mountains, lakes, and rivers. The city of Cordoba is home to the oldest university in Argentina and is filled with young students from all over Latin America. It has a metropolitan and academic feel to it, and there you can bike to go around and enjoy the nature surrounding the city. Rio Cuarto is an important agricultural center in the province and has a reputation for drugs and crime in some areas. Villa Maria is a calm and aesthetically pleasing city with lots of green spaces, and since it's in the center of the province, it acts as a mandatory stopover for travelers going to Buenos Aires, San Luis, Santa Fe, etc. San Francisco is an agricultural city with a dairy industry, and there are lots of people with Italian heritage. Villa Carlos Paz is a beautiful city that has a stunning waterfront with mountains nearby. One of the city's recognizable landmarks is the Cuckoo Clock. Speaking of which, the city gets packed with tourists every summer. Corrientes. The province is full of proud, traditional people who, similar to Paraguayans, use Guarani alongside Spanish, but less frequently. It's very hot, and summers in particular are brutal. Yeah, it gets hot and humid like you've never experienced before, and you'll be sticky all the time. The people are stereotyped as drunk knife wielders who drink lots of mate with their capybaras, eat chipa and boca and yacare empanadas, and enjoy nothing more than festivals and carnivals. This province is also the birthplace of José de San Martín, one of the main leaders of South America's independence from Spain. The capital city, Corrientes, is a touristic city that sits directly on the Paraná River, has a subtropical climate, and is known for its waterfronts and the beautiful Iberá wetlands. Goya is a quiet city, and the stereotypical person from there is either a fisher or a tobacco farmer who loves to attend their famous fishing festivals. Entre Ríos. Its name means between rivers, as it lies between the Uruguay River in the east and Paraná River in the west. The people are seen as calm, gentle gauchos with a slow pace of life, who wear berets and all play accordion and guitar, party hard, own pet capybaras, and like them both as pets and as food. The province is also famous for its thermal baths and much immigration from Jews and Volga Germans. The provincial capital and the biggest city is Paraná. It got its name from the Paraná River and is famous for the Costanera waterfront. Despite being the provincial capital, it doesn't have a huge metropolitan feel to it, and instead has a calm and quiet vibe to it. Concordia sits on the western bank of the Uruguay River, directly opposite of Salto, Uruguay. They're also known for their orange and mandarin production. Gualeguaychú is known for the Carnaval del País, during which they celebrate, dance, and wear costumes, and Concepción del Uruguay is a green and humid city located on the Uruguay River, and people go there during the summer for its river beaches. Formosa. I said Formosa. The name of the province comes from the archaic Spanish word Fermosa, which means beautiful. The province is basically like Far Cry 4. There is a ruthless dictator with a militia under his command on one side, and then there are mountains and wild animals on the other. Yeah, the immortal supreme leader of Formosa, Gildo Infran, is calling all the shots. His face is everywhere in the province to the point that it becomes depressing. Like, take a look at this Copa America poster for the national team. In many towns of the province, people don't have the basic infrastructure, with lots of dirt roads. There's a lot of corruption, and a big percentage of the population work in government jobs, which can be taken away from them if they disobey Kim Jong-il. Just joking. It's not as bad as that. Living in Formosa is phenomenal, and everyone is safe and sound here. The people are super chill and tough and try to forget about their problems by drinking tereré, partying, and going to folklore festivals. The capital city, Formosa, has infrastructural problems, lots of corrupt cops, little tourism, and lots of illegal Paraguayans whose numbers miraculously increased during the elections. Just saying. And Clorinda has a competition with Pirané to see who has fewer paved streets. And because of its proximity to Paraguay, Clorinda has a strong Paraguayan cultural influences. Jujuy is a heavily indigenous Andean province that feels more like an orderly and prosperous version of Bolivia. The stereotypical person from there is either of indigenous or Bolivian origin and is a miner who drinks a lot, owns a pet llama, and loves going to the many festivals that they have in the province. They have lots of beautiful sceneries with dry and colorful mountain and rock formations, and lots of beautiful small towns and villages with lovely, simple, and kind locals. The capital city, San Salvador, is nicknamed the Silver Teacup. That's because it sits in a valley surrounded by hills, giving the city the appearance of a little cup. And it's an important commercial and transport hub for the province. They're also known for the Carnival Hueño, which is strongly influenced by Andean traditions. San Pedro de Jujuy has lots of sugarcane agricultural lands and these carnivals, and Palpalá is known for its steel industry and because it was the site of Argentina's first iron pour. La Pampa doesn't exist, just like Acre in Brazil or Wyoming in the US. Nah, just joking. Of course it exists. There are like 5 people who live there. There are like 3 people who live there. Well, Aw, come on! There are trees and grass, and they have oil, and it exists, alright? Wait! La Pampa is a stereotype as a place with supernatural things, UFOs, and ghosts. It's a vast province that has some of the most fertile lands in Argentina, is mostly flat and full of soy and cornfields, cows with some beautiful mountainous parts. Their daily routine consists of fighting with aliens, having small asados, and then getting upset because someone stole their cow. The capital city Santa Rosa has this beautiful cathedral, and there you're either a cattle rancher or a farmer. And General Pico has a small provincial town vibe to it. It's flat but green and fairly agricultural and industrial. La Rioja has a strong tradition of folk music and dancing. For example, they have the La Chaya Festival, which is a big festival that happens in February, and people from other provinces usually come. In the festival, many people perform, people drink wine and throw flour at each other. Many people don't know the province exists because not many people talk about it, unless it's about Carlos Menem or Facundo Quiroga. If you go there, beware of the scorpions and keep yourself hydrated because it's hot. They're stereotyped as warm, lazy, and traditional people who love folklore music, siestas, olives, and wine. The capital city La Rioja is super chill, hot, dry, and not much happens there. It's also known for olive and olive oil production. They have the beautiful Talampaya National Park, and it's a great place if you like dinosaur bones. And Chilecito is a city at the foot of Famatina Mountain, and it has a mining heritage, and they produce some quality wine. Mendoza is an orderly, sophisticated, and bourgeois province with incredible landscapes and friendly people. They're stereotyped as conservatives who really love wine. It basically runs through their veins, and they're reserved, which is typical for a mountainous province. Their wine industry is a big source of income and tourist attraction, since they have big celebrations and traditions for wine. Vineyards are everywhere in this province, and they also produce lots of olives and olive oil. Overall, great food, great wine, great everything. If you want to appease your taste buds, just go to Mendoza. This province has lots of hot springs and is home to the biggest mountain on the American continent. The stereotypical Mendocino loves drinking wine with folk music in the background at asados while watching their favorite football team, which is one of these. You also must have at least 3 grapevines in your house and use these slang words to be recognized as a true Mendocino. People from there are also stereotyped to be all Chilean undercovers and that they speak like Chileans. Speaking of which, lots of people from Chile go there for tourism and shopping. Mendoza City, the capital, is very charming with a great climate, a unique culture, and friendly and welcoming people. Generally, it's a safe place with beautiful nature around it, and you can visit countless wineries. Guaymayan. No, the city. It's part of Mendoza metropolitan area, has lots of agricultural land and vineyards, and its name basically means the land of swamps or wetlands. About San Rafael, wineries, vineyards, all those things, but it's also known for its fruit production, has this very cool maize garden, Cañón de la Tuel and Atuel River, and Luan de Cuyo is a city in the foothills of the Andes with some amazing views. Misiones, the green thumb of Argentina with a very preserved jungle ecosystem that makes its border visible from space. That's mainly because the Brazilian and Paraguayan side has a higher population density and is more agricultural. There are lots of yerba mate trees there. They even have jaguars, snakes, spiders as big as Aragog, and lots of mosquitoes. Those damn mosquitoes. Their flag looks like an upside down Russian flag, but they live in the southern hemisphere, so it's just a Russian flag. The stereotypical person from there is of either Brazilian, Paraguayan, German, Slavic, or indigenous descent, loves drinking tereré, listens to a lot of sertanejo, kills giant spiders with bare hands, and has a grandparent or uncle who has been in fights with all those weird creatures that they have in that province. The capital city, Posadas, is a beautiful city sitting on the Parana River, right across from Encarnacion, Paraguay, and the two cities are connected by an international bridge. Oberá has a ton of immigrants immigrant communities and a festival that celebrates those communities. Puerto Iguazu is a chill, quiet, and cozy city and is famously known for the incredible Iguazu Falls. Of course, they share them with Brazil. If you want to know more about Brazil, check out this video, and maybe this one, and this one, and this one. Neuquén is the primary center of Mapuche people in Argentina. It's a province with a harsh natural environment filled with lakes, mountains, forests, scrublands, and beautiful araucaria trees. It famously gets really hot during the summer, and they have oil and gas, so they make more money than the average province. But the rich mostly keeps the money. The stereotypical person from there is a toughened up, nice, and friendly gaucho who eats asados and oil for breakfast, rides his Giganotosaurus everywhere he goes, is used to the windy weather, sleeps through the earthquakes, and eats his lunch at a volcanic crater. Joking aside, it's one of the provinces with the most dinosaur fossils discovered. Fact: Neuquén can be written the same forwards and backwards. The capital city, Neuquén, is beautiful, has lots of job opportunities, rich people, and great infrastructure. Plotier is a green city that produces lots of different fruits, and Cutralco is one of the most important oil-producing cities. And they have this giant statue of Messi. Looks like Messi, right? And at certain angles, you could see way more of Messi than you ever had. Río Negro is a beautiful and touristic province that's filled with sheep, cows, has lots of mesmerizing snow-capped mountains, lakes, and an oil industry. In this province, you're either a pothead hipster, a dinosaur, a person of German descent, or a Mapuche indigenous person. And here's a picture of my grandpa. Wow, he looks familiar. What was his name? Adolfo. He came from Germany to Argentina in 1945. Yeah, let me guess. He was originally Austrian and failed art school too? Yeah, how do you know that? Bariloche is a German-styled city that's famous for its stunning mountains, lakes, and other alpine-like beautiful landscapes. The stereotypical person from this city is always skiing or hiking, always complains about the infrastructure and the potholes, loves eating Bariloche chocolate, loves going to the chocolate festival, and always gives some of it to Nabelito, the lake monster. But remember not to call her by the M-word. She gets upset. General Roca is a beautiful and safe city that produces lots of apples and pears. Sipuyeti more or less has the same reputation as General Roca. The capital city, Vietma, sits alongside the Rio Negro River and is close to the Atlantic coast. And the city of Cinco Saltos is one of the cities that leads the world ranking in satanic rituals and witchcraft. Salta, also known as Salta la Linda, which means Salta the Beautiful. The province is known for its desert and mountain landscapes, its indigenous Andean colonial culture and roots, its mines, grapes, beer, and of course, their wine. The stereotypical person from Salta is a slow, superstitious gaucho or miner who's an ultra-devout Catholic, always chews cocoa leaves, thinks their empanadas are the best in Argentina, can sing pretty well, and goes to gatherings called peñas and listens to folk music. They usually bake them in clay ovens and serve them hot with yawa, which is a spicy chili salsa. Hey, this is good, but I prefer Tucumán empanada. It's delicious. I love the potatoes too. The capital, Salta, has some beautiful preserved colonial architecture. The people are die-hard fans of one of these teams, and they even have a huge religious gathering during which thousands gather to honor the Señor and Virgen del Milagro. Salta also has this absolutely stunning cathedral, and the people take the siestas seriously. San Ramón de la Nueva Oran, or often called just Oran, is an important city in northern Salta. The city was founded by Ramón García de León y Pizarro and is named after his hometown in Algeria. There, you're either a farmer who grows these, an industrial worker, a forester, or a livestock farmer. Tartagal is a green city with a big indigenous population and lots of Bolivians. They also have gas and oil. General Güemes is an industrial and agricultural city that got its name in the honor of Martín Miguel de Güemes, a military leader and independence hero who fought the Spanish during the Argentina's War of Independence. General Güemes sits right on Route 34, Route 9, and some key railways, so it's sort of like a mandatory pit stop. And Cafayate just looks out of this world, doesn't it? And their excellent wine makes you enjoy the city even more. And finally, Cachi is known for UFO sightings. When you think of San Juan province, you think of rich mining resources, wine, vineyards, earthquakes, water shortages, semitas, and Punta de Espalda. It's an arid and sparsely populated province with incredible deserts, beautiful valleys and rock formations with different colors, lots of hot springs and waterfalls. San Juan is filled with people who routinely live their quiet lives, and when something out of the ordinary happens, everyone talks about it for days on end. Because of its conservatism, some joke that the province is stuck in the 80s or 90s. The people are stereotyped as lazy and friendly gauchos who love eating pachata, probably own a pet Eoraptor, are great at roller hockey, and are big fans of San Martin, the San Juan football club. Yes, San Juan is filled with dinosaur fossils and has some awesome dinosaur museums. They also have this adorable endangered animal called pichiciego. San Juan gets really hot during the summer, and in fact, it's famous for a hot, dry wind called zonda. The capital city San Juan was mostly destroyed during an earthquake in 1944, and they grow some great olives. San Luis is a small and chill province filled with beautiful sceneries, farmlands, and productive agricultural areas and industries. It's run by the Rodriguez Saa brothers. Say hello to Adolfo and Alberto. Their roads are well paved, Wi-Fi is considered a human right, and there are many places across the province with free Wi-Fi. Alberto founded the city of La Punta in 2003, and he's fond of bizarre projects like building replicas of famous Argentine landmarks in the most random places. Puntanos are a stereotype as quiet and traditional folks who love eating chibito and puntana empanada, and their daily routine consists of spotting aliens, fighting with the devils in the mountains, hunting dinosaurs, and farming. San Luis, the capital city, was first founded in 1594 and then was abandoned, although its location was moved before settling permanently at its current site. Villa Mercedes is mostly known for its famous folk song Calle Angosta, which is about an old, narrow street in this city. And Villa de Merlo is a tourist town with exquisite mountain and valley sceneries. The province of Santa Cruz. It's remote and deep in Patagonia region with a low population density. Yeah, it has about 7 times as many sheep as people. The province is cold and violently windy. Lots of people joke that La Pampa doesn't exist, but Santa Cruz straight up gets ignored. It feels more like a remote place in another country than an Argentinian province. It's home to Mount Fitzroy and the former president Nestor Kirchner. His family's long political dominance in the province has been fading, as they lost the governorship in 2023 and Milei won every department in the province in the presidential election. They also have some dinosaur fossils, the magnificent Perito Moreno glacier, plenty of oil and gas, and the beautiful Cueva de las Manos, which you've probably seen pictures of before. Rio Gallegos is the capital and the largest city of Santa Cruz province. It's safe and, dare I say, not that beautiful, not touristy, has an industrial/port city feeling to it, and is often cold. Caleta Olivia has oil, and this cool big statue representing an oil worker. He too went through the COVID and celebrated the World Cup finals. And the city of El Calafate is on Lago Argentino and is close to the Perito Moreno glacier. The province of Santa Fe is full of gringos. In this case, it doesn't mean the Americans, but non-Hispanic people with European immigrant ancestry. The capital city is the city of Santa Fe. They're fans of one of these teams and they make some great alfajores. Rosario. They're stereotyped as all being narcos or criminals who love one of these football clubs, and they cannot have a conversation without mentioning that Messi and Di Maria are from there. Their daily routine consists of engaging in armed robbery stories, talking about Messi, eating some cat for lunch, while listening to Fito Paez with the sound of gunshots in the background. About the crime thing, statistically speaking, it's among the least safe places in Argentina, but compared to other unsafe cities in Latin America, it ain't that bad. And as long as you're not planning on flaunting your cash or latest iPhone in public, you'll be alright. Many people think Rosario is the capital of Santa Fe. Hell, some even think it's a whole separate province. To much surprise, Rosario isn't the capital city, and compared to Santa Fe, it's much larger and more industrial, with a big port on the Paraná River. Also, the city is the first place where the Argentinian flag was raised. Rafaela is an average city, has a bit of everything, they produce lots of dairy, it's fairly industrial, and has lots of people with Italian and Swiss ancestors. And finally, Villa Gobernador Galvez is known for its meatpacking industry. Santiago del Estero province is the ultimate butt of internal jokes within Argentina. It's like Argentina's version of Alabama. Even their map looks like a mirrored version of Alabama. Here you go. I forgot to wipe the bombilla. You don't have to do that. No, I insist. What did you just say? I insist. They're stereotyped as backwards people who like their cousins a bit too much and love napping. And aside from the whole Alabama reputation, it has a bit of a Florida man situation going on as well. And that's because of all the crazy news that comes out of there. How's their weather, you ask? Just look at this beautiful, cool day in Santiago at a brisk 45 degrees Celsius. Yeah, Santiago del Estero, more like Santiago del Infierno. So yeah, it's one of the hottest provinces in the country. As a result, they usually take long siestas, and because of this, they usually get stereotyped as lazy folks. The city of Santiago del Estero is surrounded by farmlands and is known as Madre de Ciudades because the Spanish settlers used it as a base to establish several other cities in Argentina. Speaking of which, they have a cool looking stadium with the same name. Tierra del Fuego is a cold and windy province with many fjords, high mountains, and a cool flag. The province's name translates to the land of fire. First of all, that's dope. And second, the name was given because the first explorers saw indigenous people building large fires along the coast to keep warm. Speaking of which, the province has many indigenous groups, such as the Selknam, Yagan, Cabescar, and more. Tierra del Fuego is just plain beautiful. But if you go there, you'll be freezing your ass off all year long. Even during the summer. Yeah, it can snow even in December and January. And the winters are just brutal. But you can't expect anything less from the gateway to Antarctica. Their daily routine is something like this. Wow, finally, it's shorts weather. Hey Tito. The weather is also pretty unpredictable. You can wake up to a perfectly blue sky, have rain in the afternoon, and then go to sleep when it's snowing. The province is also one of the most expensive places in Argentina, but it has lots of tax benefits for its inhabitants, which led some of them to drive expensive cars. Tierra del Fuego's official territory includes the Malvinas, South Georgia, and the South Sandwich Islands, as well as its Antarctic claim. However, these territories aren't actually administered by the province. The capital city, Ushuaia, is the last stop before Antarctica, or anywhere else in the world for that matter, since it's the southernmost city in the world. There are even signs that say Fin del Mundo, which means the end of the world. Fact, it's also the only city in Argentina that's located on the other side of the Andes. The city heavily relies on tourism and also has a big port. So if you go there, you can stuff your face with some delicious shellfish, spider crab, fish, or even lamb. And in the city of Rio Grande, they produce lots of cell phones, electronics, and automotive components. Tucumán, the Garden of the Republic, is the smallest province in the country and also the most densely populated one. As far as I know, they have some negative stereotypes, such as being thieves who all live in the countryside, which of course isn't true. The The stereotypical person from there is an overweight guy who loves nothing more than a milanesa sandwich, always calls you primo or chango, loves one of these teams to death, owns a pet monkey who keeps running away from him, and speaks in an unintelligible accent. And they probably own a sugarcane farm, or somehow their work is related to sugarcane because Tucumán produces around 60 to 65% of all sugarcane in Argentina. The province has lots of beautiful mountain ranges, especially in the west, and they often get severe floods. San Miguel de Tucumán is the capital city and is known for the Casa Histórica de la Independencia, the house where the Congress of Tucumán declared independence from the Spanish rule on July 9, 1816. It's a beautiful city filled with orange trees, lapachos, and tarcos that make it very scenic at places. Monteros is an agricultural city just like the city of Tucumán, produces lots of sugarcane, and is known for the National Festival of Folklore. What? It's gonna have its own separate video. Alright, that's it. I wanna thank Jacoby for helping me with this script. And if you wanna support the channel, please like, subscribe, and check out my other Stereotypes videos. Ciao!